Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Mike, your host. Today we are looking at Krew season. Now, these brothers here, it's four brothers, and they got a podcast. The thing I like about it is you get a diverse group of guys here, right? And the way they talk to each other, it seems like they've known each other for years. They've been friends for years, right? But when the breakdown is that you got two guys who are married, you got one divorced, and then one who's single. Now, the interesting thing about that is because of the diversity, a lot of times you end up with those high level conversations. What are those? Conversations where we peel back the layers to where we get past the surface stuff and really get at the issues that are plaguing our community. And another thing that I like about these brothers is they hold both men and women accountable. So that's a definite plus, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get this going. We're looking at some YouTube shorts today. Some of these I've seen, some of them I haven't. So let's go ahead and get started.
Much more than that.
Attention.
Definitely. I see what you're saying. You're saying like men simplify it as if it's just sex. I stepped away just for the sex when in reality it's something much deeper than that, but we don't want to express that part of it.
Because if we just simplified it and said it was just sex, and then came back and said, but I still love you, I feel like it's more than just sex. It was attention. Like you wasn't getting the attention that you wanted from your woman. And rather than just the sex, if she would have gave you attention, you would be right there. You wouldn't have stepped out on her. As a man, if you came in and started speaking to your woman as the things you wanted, things you needed, conversation and not blowing it over instead of stepping out and going to just go have sex. Because in reality, if it's not just sex, it's more than that. You can't conversate with your woman the right proper way. We use that excuse of saying we stepped out relationship to get sex, even though we still love you.
Okay, we can see where this is going, right? Again, high level conversation. And despite what's going on, these brothers are holding brothers accountable. Because despite the narrative, especially on YouTube, sex is not just sex. Because in order for that guy to even him to give into that opportunity, there was a reason why he gave into that opportunity, and a lot of times it is because of lack of attention. So this is a game for both. They're holding brothers accountable, but it's also some good game for women. It's like, yeah, men, we like attention too. Or, in another video, we're going to find out what else we like as well. But yeah, ladies, if you're not showing your guy attention, you leave your relationship open to you. That man becomes vulnerable to the attention of other women. Now, if you take a dude, I don't care how much he champions monogamy, that brother be starved for attention, and another woman decide to give him some attention, you're leaving the door open. So that's like I said, you hold men accountable because it's never just, oh, it was just sex and that's not a big deal. Nah, because if it was just that, then you go home and have sex with your woman. Yeah. So like I said, they hold men and women accountable. We're gonna move on to the next one.
Somebody can't turn their ego off. That's basically what it be. Somebody on one end cannot turn their ego off, because women have egos too. That's just real. You know what I'm saying? And
100%.
I feel like ego has no place in your marriage, because that will the same thing that pushes you in your career and, you know what I'm saying, your friendships and all that is a detriment to your relationship. The same thing that makes you who you are in your relationship will make your relationship fail, bro. You gotta adjust. You gotta give something. Like Ricky said, you're gonna have to give something to get what you want. And most of the time, most people don't want to give up their ego, because they feel like, man, this is what got me here. This what made me successful. Yeah, it made you successful in what you do and your friendships and what you do in this work life and all this type of shit here. But that'll never make you successful in a relationship. Never. Somebody.
100%. I've said it before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Relationships are about balance, and sometimes that means that you're gonna have to sacrifice your ego in order to push the relationship forward. This is more accountability. It's not just on men, and it's not just on women. It's about both parties coming together. Now, in order for your relationship to be successful, both egos are gonna have to be sacrificed at some point. At some point you're gonna have to give on things, and a lot of times that means sacrificing your ego. That's just the way relationships work. Very rarely is it where one side is sacrificing and the other is not, those type of relationships tend to end, and they usually don't last because, again, that person who's always sacrificing wears down quickly. And, next thing you know, you in divorce court or somebody's ghosting you and you don't know why. Yeah, again, it's just a good game. Yeah.
When you in a marriage, you paying bills, you taking care of kids, you cooking, you being romantic, you taking care of the car, light bulb in the crib go out, you going to change that, electricity issues, you going to the breaker box. Like you wear a lot of hats in that marriage. And like I said, men thrive off gratitude. So
facts. We just got through talking about the things that men need. Yeah, attention is one, but gratitude is something else. And gratitude and respect can kind of fall in, along the same lines. But yeah, as men, we do need that. So if you're in that situation where a guy's not getting that, he's not getting that from his woman, and he's performing. It's a difference if you're not performing at something, and you shouldn't get anything at that point. You get what you deserve. But if you are performing, you're not getting something. Well, ladies, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, like I said before, you leave your relationship, you leave your man vulnerable to the attention of outside women. If you're okay with that, then hey, rock on, do what you do. I'm not gonna, very rarely am I gonna tell you guys what to do or how to make your relationship work, because at the end of the day, we need more. We need more, what do you call it? We need more variations of how working relationships, how people can stay together, because I think that ultimately that's going to lead to increasing the marriage rate. So if you're able to make your marriage work and your man ain't getting no no gratitude, hey, I mean, go ahead. But the majority of the time, that's not going to work. It's only going to work for so long. You doing that, you're on borrowed time. And guys, we know this too. This is the same truth about women too. I mean, if you don't show them any attention, yeah, you leave your relationship open. You leave your woman vulnerable to the attention of an outside man.
We need attention. We need confirmation that us being able to take care of our business, wearing all these hats, that it's appreciated by you. And if it's not, then that's going to make us resent you more than anything. Yeah. Compared to that low maintenance relationship, if I'm single, if I pay for the date and I don't get the ass or whatever, okay, I ain't really tripping. It's all good, whatever. But when it's my wife, somebody that I made vows to, somebody that I'm in charge of taking care of, and they moving as if they don't appreciate all of the effort that I'm putting into this shit, that right there is enough to break a man. When you in a marriage,
100%. Yeah, like I said, when relationships become one-sided, very rarely does that last, and you're usually on borrowed time until that person, they just can't take it. They reach that point of no return, or points of diminishing return, where they start to see the future, and it's like, okay, I got to get out of this. And then all of a sudden, now you have that person who's feeling like that. Again, they're susceptible to outside forces. It is what it is. That's why we gotta make sure that we're paying attention to each other. We're giving each other what we need to make the relationship work.
I don't think that's possible. And the reason I would say that is
oh, guys, I just realized that because of the screen size, that you can't really see the caption here. This one says, how to give your woman constructive criticism with no pushback.
Because I could whisper what you're not doing for me, and you're going to take it as me yelling and cussing you out.
Yeah.
Because it's criticism involved. Especially not just criticism from anybody, but criticism to the person that you allegedly love the most in this world. So that's hard to take. So I think as a man, to answer your question directly, you got to rip that Band-Aid off. Not saying cuss out, not saying be extra rude, but just be very, very matter of fact and very, very blunt. And, again, she gonna take it how she gonna take it. Sure, it's gonna be some crying. Sure, it's gonna be some like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not neglecting you. I'm not da-da-da-da. But you gotta stand firm on what it is that you're saying as a man. But oftentimes we don't do that. We'll run into that crying, or we'll run into that denial. And be like, man, look, man, I don't want to argue, man. You know what, man, you got it. And every time we do that, we dig a deeper hole for ourselves. I don't think that's.
Yep, 100%. And I think I've seen this one before. Let's see. Hey, look at that. Yeah, I have. Okay, so this is called emotional abuse, where the woman uses her emotional instability as a weapon against you. And it is great advice on how to handle it. You're gonna have to stand firm. This happens all the time. And I would say a lot of times women don't know this is what they're doing. But again, I'm going to put the accountability on the men in this one, because if you're in this situation, you can't give in. You're going to have to stand firm, because otherwise all you're doing is kicking the can down the road. And she's going to feel like, well, she's going to use that excuse of, well, you ain't never tell me. I didn't feel, I never knew. And all of a sudden she gets a tidal wave of emotions. And then you're trying to cater to her emotions to get her to stop crying. And ultimately your issues go unanswered. That's a very dangerous game to play. That's why I said you're gonna have to be a man. I hate that cliche, but it really is. You're gonna have to stand firm in your beliefs. If you think something is wrong, then we have to stand up. We have to say stuff. A lot of time as men, we don't want to, because we're just trying to keep the peace, and we're just I'll just put it on my back and just carry it. You can't do that. That's a bad way of doing things, because eventually what's happening is that it literally becomes the phrase, the straw that broke the camel's back. Again, that's just like I said before, is that all of a sudden you let all this stuff go by for the last 3 months, and then something simple happened, and now you got to bring in all this stuff. Well, I did that because you did this and you did this and that's that. No, that's not the way to do things. You got to be able to stand firm with your woman so that she understands that this is important to you. She may cry about it, but you still have to stand firm, and that's going to tell her how serious the issue is that, and she'll understand at that point. And you guys, of course, have to work it out after that. But don't be an emotional punching bag. That's not worth it. Not worth it.
It's a gratitude thing. We just want to know that everything that we putting into this relationship is appreciated, because we could be just as easily out here moving like your friend's man that they talking to, that they call you and complain about every day. Oh, he not attentive. Oh, he not doing this. He had sex with me. I ain't heard from him. And da, 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 da. We could easily be out here moving like them. Just no consideration at all for you. We ain't been enough. Like men make a lot of consideration and sacrifices behind the scenes that our women don't even know about, just to make sure that her life goes as smooth as it possibly can. And it be little things that we pay attention to that we just get done. And we may not even tell you that, but we just doing it. So when we not getting that.
Facts. One of the things that you have to get used to as a guy, especially if you're trying to be a husband, is putting out small fires. And a lot of times, the reason why you need to do that is because that's your job. Plain and simple. You're going to have to put out a lot of fires that your wife may never even find out about. The thing about it is that women, that's why you need to be appreciative of your man. If this dude has been there, he's wearing all these hats. And I'm not going to get into I think it was another video maybe where Trill gave examples of the hats that the guy wears. I'm not going to get into all that, mainly because you need to work that out in your marriage as to what hats you're wearing. And again, I don't want to prevent anybody from saying from making a marriage work because, oh, this guy on YouTube said men are supposed to do this and you not doing that. No. Our community is the marriage rates in our community are too low for me to be coming on here talking about specific examples of a marriage. However you're making it work, that's the way you need to make it work. So divide those duties up however you want to. But the important thing is that once it is assigned to you, then you need to be coming through for it. Well, I'm going to leave it at that one. We're going to keep going.
Your woman, man, your woman is your greatest asset, bro. The greatest piece that you got around you is your woman, bro. And if you don't utilize that, bro, hey, that position that you in for the rest of your life, don't blame her, blame yourself, because you didn't utilize all your pieces on that chessboard.
Yep.
Can you imagine playing chess and only using the left side of your board? That's it. You never moving nothing else. That's the problem. They don't use their woman. They look at their woman like you just said, like children. A great woman is gonna make you stronger, bro. It's gonna make you stronger, bro. Don't ever forget that. A great woman will make you stronger, but a lot of men, they don't allow their women to make them stronger. They don't allow their women to be great women, which weakens them. Your woman, man.
Yep. And again, I agree 100%. The thing about it is, this speaks to what I was talking about on the last short, is that you guys need to define within the relationship what your roles are going to be. And then you need to let that person be great at it. Because that's a general rule to follow with marriage. Now, as the head of the household, men, it's your job to assess whether or not things are working to the best of their ability. Because sometimes we can get it wrong. And, we give out the wrong person assigned to the wrong role. So as a man, it's your job to say, okay, well, hold on here. Let's reevaluate. We need to come together and reevaluate this thing, because this ain't working out we're not reaching the goal like we thought we were going to. We need to make some adjustments here. And then you go from there. But a lot of times, to the issue that he's speaking about is that I've seen this personally where men will hold back their women because they want to stick to a traditional role. But if your wife is better at something than you are, dude, it's called delegation. Let her go handle that. And you need to trust that she's going to handle it well. Prime example is that, the women are supposed to do the cooking and cleaning. Well, that makes sense, except if you're the better cook. Like, especially if you want to throw some kids in the mix. Okay, kids got to eat, bro. And you going to send your woman in there, but you like cooking more than she does. Then y'all divvy up the responsibilities, so that it's more favorable to you. If you like cooking more than your wife does, you do the cooking then. Stop getting caught up in this stereotypical stuff. Because if you're going to be great at something, you need to be great at it. It's just what it is. I mean, like I said, the marriage rates are too low for us to be trying to lock in one way to do things. Like I said, we need more examples of different ways to make a marriage work. Ultimately, I think that's the key to increasing the marriage rates in our community.
We don't have all the answers.
That's the thing. Yep.
We don't.
Yeah.
Don't just say just because you the man, the woman needs to follow everything you fucking say. That is not how life goes. It's not it. Y'all both have a role to play in this. And when y'all sitting in that fucking car and you think you need to go this way and she says, hey, babe, no, this might be the better route. Let's sit down and talk about this shit. Y'all need to sit down and talk about this. This is not 1940, 1920, 1950, 60. Motherfucker, life costs to live these days. A lot of fucking money.
And getting it wrong costs more.
That's why I make these that's why money is in the title of my channel. It's because we need to have a serious conversation. Gone, or all but gone, are the days where you can survive off one income. This is not work. Again, I'm an average man. I'm not a high value man. If you're a high value man, hey, they got channels for you. Go over there. Just being realistic here. Average man like myself, yeah, we in a 2-income household. So yeah, we have to work things out.
No.
And you got people with the same education as you, the same lifestyle as you, grew up in this, maybe a better household than you, learned better decision making than you. And just because you the man, she needs to follow your decision you make. No, y'all need to communicate this shit together and work out the best outcome. We don't have all the answers.
Facts. Yeah, that's just that's being realistic. Your woman is just not there for eye candy, or she shouldn't be. You shouldn't get married to a woman just because she look good. That's nah. If that's the case, y'all just need to date. But marriage is too important. Raising kids, come on, man. You're supposed to. You shouldn't marry a woman who you don't value her opinion. That's just not gonna work. But we got one more to look at, and let's see.
They say nobody can motivate you to do anything else, but there's certain words people can say to you. Say, hey man, I see this in you. You my man, like do this. I know you can do this. Let's get it together. I can help you, work with you. You got to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
And come back and answer to it. This is not them trying to make you feel like less of a man or less of a person. This is them saying, hey, I know what you bring to the table, and let's do this together. Everything that they should bring to you is a opportunity for y'all to do it together.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be just the soul, hey, I know you can do this, so I need you to do this. It should be, hey, I know you can do this, so let's work together to get this thing done. Because if I know my wife, hey, you want to go to school? Okay, cool. what do we need to do to get you back in school?
Right.
Like that's
Cooperation, working together. Now, earlier I mentioned about delegation. Yeah, it's a similar situation, but keep in mind, what we have to keep in mind is that the overall goal. That's the difference in just throwing something, you just throwing a task at your wife and just saying, do this. No, 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 no. We come together and we have a meeting of the minds. We have an issue. Okay, let's discuss the issue. What's the plan of action here? You guys discuss the plan of action. Doesn't matter who came up with it. And then ultimately you guys have to agree on what the outcome is going to be. And then the man, it's your responsibility as head of the household to hold the family accountable and make sure these things are actually getting done. Now, does that mean that you're supposed to be telling your woman what to do and she's just supposed to do it? Absolutely not. Again, who did you marry? Why would you put yourself in a position like that to where your woman is just going to follow your word 100% of the time? Because you don't know everything. And he said that in another video. It's like, stop acting like you know everything, because you don't. There's always going to be something you don't know. And there should be things where your wife is better suited than you are. That's just what it is. Unless you didn't marry the girl, you high value man, and you didn't married the girl at McDonald's. Like, why would you do that? That woman had to bring more to the table than just looks. Stop marrying women for looks. That's why you end up with a 50% divorce rate. And you keep seeing these guys all over the internet talking about, oh, my wife took me to the cleaners. She took all my money and she never even helped me build my empire. And why did you pick a woman who wasn't an asset to you? That's just plain and simple. We got to start doing better with the women we vet. Just because, again, you should take your wife as good counsel. You should value her opinion. If this woman is bringing all this stuff to the table and, she's bringing it to the relationship, you should value her opinion. If you don't, you probably shouldn't be trying to get married to her. I mean, I would say you probably shouldn't deal with her in any form or fashion. It's because people who you don't respect, that usually ends very badly. Yeah, but look, it was great. Finally got to make a video about Krew season. I shouted them out like a couple videos ago, or at least a trio. But I've been trying to get together and figure out something to talk about. Where I was like, okay, I got to get these guys in here sometime because they make great content. Go check out their channel, like and subscribe to this video. Go subscribe to their channel. But guys, I'm out of here. All right, I'm gonna say ghost to the next time. Thanks for making it to the end of this video, but do me another favor, like and subscribe, but also check out these here. Either subscribe or watch videos, one or the other. I don't know which side, but hey, all right.